Let's start now. Welcome and good afternoon to Stadion Bonn, Italy versus Spain. Our next game. Both teams are undefeated in Group B. Italy, the visiting team. Spain, home team in this game this afternoon. And I would kindly ask the Italian players to go back to the dugout so we can start. We start with the Italian team. Coaching staff. Team Italy manager Gilberto Girardi. Coaches Dennis Cook, Augusto Medina, Orlando Gretis, Giovanni Costa, and Alberto Gallia.
Welcome to Bonn, Germany, here on day 4 of the European Baseball Championships. Bob Branken, my colleague, we had a long night last night.
It was quite a ball game.
Chilly weather, really got cool last night in the Israel-Germany Team Israel game. Israel took in 10th inning 2 runs, 4-2, and keep their perfect record. And speaking of perfect records,
here we are this afternoon with 2 teams with 3-0 records battling in Pool B.
One of those teams being introduced right now, that's Team Italy, who have shown their offensive prowess in their first 3 games, starting already on Saturday with an easy 16-2 victory against Team France. Spain's had more problems. Their first game was plagued by a lot of rain interruptions, and they only won 3-2 against Croatia. And Spanish coaches walking up to home plate, introducing themselves.
But 2 undefeated teams here, John. I think we're in for a real treat this afternoon.
Yeah, this should be a good game. Looking forward to it. We have finally also great weather. It's 20 degrees Celsius, upper 60s for those listening in the U.S. I think both of the teams will be happy about it. Playing warm weather, but not too warm. And looking at the introductions for the Spanish team here. Team Spain will be pitching today is Ricardo Hernandez. And I believe that is his first appearance in this championship. And facing him on the Italian side, or pitching on the mound for the Team Italy, is Luis Lugo. And you see the rest of the Spanish team walking to the third base line as we get ready to hear the national anthems from Italy and Spain.
And now please rise for the national anthem of Team Italy.
rousing version there of the Italian national anthem, now Spain's national anthem. And with that, both the national anthems have been played. The teams greet each other, wish each other luck in this game. Let's hope it's a good one, because with both undefeated sides, naturally there'll be one undefeated side in this tournament, and be good to have a great game.
I think we're in for a real good ball game here this afternoon. Here's the starting lineup for Team Italy. Leading off, Andrew Maggi, number 37. Batting second, number 18, Alessandro Avaglio. Batting third, number 44, number 44, John Andrioli. Cleanup hitter tonight, 25, Christopher Colabello. Batting fifth, number 49, Giuseppe Mazzante. Number 9, batting 6, Matteo Reginato. Number 36, Alberto Menino, fouls him. Federico Celli, number 28, batting 8th.
You want me to say the next name? Aldo Gozzoyonopoulos, it's told, and I think for the sake of both you and I twisting our tongues too much, the Italian dugout said, hey, call him Aldo if you want.
His first name is Aldo, and I think we'll go with that, John.
Yeah. Looking at the field for Spain, pitching, as I said, is going to be starting Ricardo Hernandez. The catcher is Blake Ochoa. Playing at third base is Rodriguez. Playing at first base is Jesus Ustariz. Second baseman is Oscar Angulo. Johnny Bethencourt at shortstop. And in the outfield, Lester Galvan, Engel Beltre, and in right field, Giancarlo Franco.
Oh, we're almost ready for the first pitch. Most folks have seen Netherlands as the clear favorite in this tournament, but Italy and Spain are also right there in most of the European baseball championships. I think those three teams are always considered the top three in Europe. Yeah. Usually followed by the Czech Republic, and Germany has made quite a run the last several years to challenge the Czechs for that number 4 spot.
Now, interestingly, although in the group pool with, so not this one, but the one Germany is in, Israel currently atop the table. The Netherlands have lost one game, so they play Germany tonight, and which is going to be a telltale sign, or telltale game for both teams, simply because I don't think Germany wants to lose this. No one wants to lose, but then the trend starts pointing down, and that last game could become very important. The Netherlands would fear possibly not even advancing if they didn't win tonight. So it'll be a big game. Both of these sides, Spain and Italy, almost now assured their ticket into the next round. That's more of a matter of who's going to seed themselves first, second, and third and fourth in that group.
Sometimes that can play into the strategy as the game progresses as to how the managers of either side may handle the pitching staffs too.
Yeah. So far, as Spain has faced more challenges in the games with close, as I said, a close game against Croatia, and have had to go to the bullpen a little bit more. Italy has more or less been able to kick back in their games. Pitchers don't have to have been in few tight situations, which also can be a down thing sometimes. When it counts and they haven't faced it yet, and I think they're going to face that challenge today against Spain. Leadoff hitter stepping to home plate, that's going to be Andrew, and I got to remember Andrew, not Andrew, Andrew Maggi. He's playing shortstop for Italy. And Ricardo Hernandez gets his sign for the first pitch, throws, and Maggi takes ball one.
And we're underway.
Underway here in Bonn. This is the third game of 4 today here in the city, the former capital of Germany. And Maggi takes ball 2.
As you mentioned earlier, terrific weather this afternoon. Partly cloudy, but no chance of rain the rest of the week is the way it's looking right now.
Timing couldn't be better then. And third pitch is in for strike 1. Hernandez finds the strike zone for the first time in this game after 3 pitches. And he's lines up. Pitch comes low for ball 3. Andrew Maggi in the first game against France, he went 1 for 5. And hits ground ball to the third baseman, Rodriguez, who throws out Maggi for the first out of this game. We're underway, of course, in the game between Team Italy, and Team Spain.
Handled cleanly there by the third baseman, routine play.
The field will probably be a little more friendlier now that it's drying up. That's, I think, has caused some problems. Ball seems to go deep into the turf at times and doesn't have the clean bounce you expect with a nice dry infield. Stepping up to the plate is Vaglio. Alessandro Vaglio is the second baseman. And he takes strike 1. Rodriguez delivers the pitch, and he can't check in time. And strike 2, already 0-2. The left-hander, Rodriguez. Yeah, this Group B match counts 1-2 now. And his pitch comes in. That check swing also not checked in time. And a strikeout for Rodriguez, his first of the game. Or Hernandez, excuse me. Hernandez with the K. There's a Ricardo Hernandez, 31-year-old, so he's also has lots of experience. Plays for the Cipro Nettuno baseball city team. And the first pitch to the center fielder, Andreoli, also in for a strike. Second pitch on the way. That one's high for ball 1. 2 outs already.
Spanish lefty just trying to find his spots, it looks like, John.
Comes in with a fastball. And that one's low and away for ball 2. Two and 1 to count. The 2 outs. Center fielder Andreoli swings in. That foul tip for strike 2. 2-2 the count now.
There was the heater we were looking for.
Yeah. Well, Hernandez, a big man on the mound there. Definitely has power. And Andreoli fouls up, pitch off. Count remains 2-2.
Also pitching from the stretch, I've noticed quite a few of the international players do that. Nobody on base. Sometimes it's a personal preference, just a matter of comfort.
A 2-2 pitch coming. Andreoli swings and fouls that one off. And the catcher watches that one drift back and out of play. Ochoa. The count remains 2-2 to Andreoli. Hernandez has gotten the first 2 men, one on a ground ball to third baseman, and the second time struck out Value. Pitch to Andreoli. That one's high for ball 3.
Good at bat for the Italian center fielder. We're going to do a full count after fouling off a couple.
Yeah. And that one hits a line drive, and that one's going to land in front of the center fielder, Beltre. And Andreoli caught the Spanish outfielder sleeping there, and he took advantage. Aggressive base running.
Very much so.
Turned that one in a single, easy single into a double. He
rounded first and didn't stop.
Yep. He saw that Beltre wasn't really charging that ball. It was taking his time to get to it, and he gets into scoring position. I think that's a smart play. You have 2 outs. You might as well try and get into scoring position when you see the outfield isn't doing its job.
Good show of speed, too, from the Italian center fielder.
Yeah. And that brings up the cleanup hitter, Colabello. And he takes ball 1. Colabello plays in the Italian League for San Marino. Andreoli with the lead off of second base. Pitch comes to Colabello and his fly ball, and that's gone. That's out of here. And
Colabello drives one to right center field.
A little bit of wind here today. Last night's game was completely without wind, but Colabello got that one up got it up high enough to watch it drift out, and the right fielder, Franco, all he could do is watch the ball land in the trees in right center field, and that gives Italy already a 2-0 lead. So what looked like a possibly a very easy inning for Hernandez, it turns into 2 runs for Italy after Andreoli got on base, followed by a home run, 2-run shot by Colabello. That brings up the third baseman.
I believe it's
Mazzanti.
Colabello's second home run of the tournament.
Okay.
He hit a grand slam against Austria the other day. Game where he struck out 3 times, but a grand slam
more than makes up for that.
Atones for a few strikeouts, no doubt.
And it counts 0-1 now to Mazzanti. Mazzanti. Yeah, foul ball for strike 2.
Sun is peeking in and out behind clouds here.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference on the ambient temperature. We're sitting right in the sun down the third base side. We can feel it, just as the players can.
And it's shining right into the Spanish dugout right below us. The Italians in the shade. And the home dugout where the Bonn Capitals always are on the bench. And pulls that one foul. Count remains 0-2 with 2 outs. Italy on a two-run home run by Christopher Colabello. Jumps out to an early lead here in the top of the first. Spanish pitcher Hernandez gets the sign. From the stretch, pitches. That one's high for ball 1. Oh, Mazzanti also extending his at-bat here with a foul ball here and there. Now the wind blowing really more from right to left. So the right-handed hitters could have an advantage. And Mazzanti takes ball 2.
I think that's the most movement I've seen on those flags in center field in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Last night in particular, they were dead still all night long.
2-2 pitch. Oh, this one's low for ball 3. Well, Mazzanti works that back to a full count after falling behind 0-2.
Hernandez throwing a few more pitches in the top of the first than he would like, I'm sure.
Yeah. And Mazzanti, ground ball to the shortstop, who throws the ball in the dirt, but scooped out nicely by the first baseman, Jesus Ustariz, to end the top half of the first inning, but not before Italy get on the board with 2 runs on a 2-run home run by Colabello. And Spain will be coming up to bat in a few minutes.
Italian lefty Luis Lugo finishing his warm-up pitches here to start the bottom of the first. Team Italy putting 2 on the board after getting 2 outs at the top of the first, so giving Mr. Lugo a little breathing room here. Always helps the starting pitcher to get on the mound in the bottom of the first with a couple of runs on the board already. Leading off for Team Spain is Angel Beltre, their own center fielder. Left-handed stick, getting into the box and getting set, awaiting the first pitch from Lugo. Slider that catches the inside corner for strike 1. Lugo fouls that next pitch back over the backstop for strike 2. Good lefty-lefty matchup here. Ground ball. Second baseman, he charges, makes the throw over to first cleanly. 1 down.
And jetzt steht 1 down. Würden Sie nochmal der Hinweis bei Foulballs, wenn die Foulballs bitte am Endstand zwischen Feld 1 und 2 abgeben.
Stepping up now is number 11, Betancourt, Spanish shortstop. Hitting from the right side. First pitch. Hits a sharp grounder right to first baseman, makes the play cleanly and walks over to step on the bag for the second out.
2 down now quickly, similar to Italy last inning. First 2 outs were fairly fast. See if Spain can repeat what Italy did, get the next runner on or next. The game on the second field is now complete. Austria have defeated Croatia 12-1. So that team of winless, or that game of winless teams, ends with Austria notching their first victory. And Oscar Angulo, the second baseman, up to bat. And like so many second basemen, fairly small in stature. One and one count. And
good fastball from Lugo.
Takes strike 2. 1-2 the count. Lugo delivers. That one's high. And checked his swing in time. Count is now 2-2.
Catcher appealed that down to the first base ump, who gave the safe sign he didn't go around.
No, nothing there. 2-2 pitch low, and the count goes full.
Angulo steps out of the box for a moment. Good job of working the count to full after Lugo got the first 2 guys 4 pitches.
And that's a foul ball down the right field line, out of play. 3-2 the count remains. And Lugo gets the ball and he's pitching. And there's a line shot right at the second baseman, Valio, to end the inning. And after one complete inning here in Bonn, Italy lead Spain 2-0. It's 2-0 here in Bonn. And Italy coming up in the second inning, top of the second inning, with following batters, Reginato to lead off, followed by Mineo, and then Crelli. First pitch 2. Reginato is a strike.
Strike one.
Reginato. He's batting 1 for 5 so far in this tournament. Started in 2 games. Or sorry, started in 1 game. A high pop-up, and the first baseman gets under that and puts that one away. Nicely done by Jesus Ustariz to get the first out of the inning.
In foul territory just between the bag and the dugout area.
That brings up Mineo to the plate. Alberto Mineo, he's so far in the tournament 1 for 4 with 2 runs, and that pitch is foul. Already 1 strike to the catcher for Team Italy. It looks like Italy rotating a little bit. Players getting their playing time, not wearing themselves out. They do play 5 games in a row. This might be more than many of them are used to. This is seldom, even the professional leagues in Europe have frequent gaps, long gaps between game days, match days. So having to play 5 in a row, the Italian manager looking to spell some of those players. And the left-handed batter Mineo takes the next pitch, and it's a fly ball, and the center fielder misplayed it. He misjudged that, and it's going to be a double for the catcher Mineo. Center fielder Beltre, he started going back and realized, and then all of a sudden he recognized that ball wasn't going very far. He charged in, and he did get his glove on it, but he couldn't hold on to it. And that puts Mineo on second base. I see, interested to see what the scorer will call that.
Again, I think I'd have to give him a hit.
Give him the hit only because
the fielder he misplayed it, no doubt. He got a poor jump at the ball, but leaving his feet to try to make the play, that's usually one of the criteria for the scorekeeper to evaluate whether that was a hit or an error, and Beltre most definitely was fully extended trying to make that play.
Well, that brings up Federico Celli to the plate. Right-handed batter, the right fielder takes ball 1. So far in this tournament, Celli 2 for 6, scored 3 runs, 2 RBIs. So his enjoying a good tournament like many Italian players are. And the second pitch, off speed, way ahead on that one, Celli, for strike 1.
Clearly fooled on that off-speed pitch from Hernandez.
The 1-1 pitch coming. And he hits a foul ball down the third baseline. Count goes to 1-2. Celli with not a very large lead off second base. Or excuse me, Mineo. Celli in the batter's box. Celli the catcher, or Mineo the catcher. Mineo the catcher, naturally not going to be the speediest man on the base paths. Celli prepares for the 1-2 pitch from Hernandez. Quick back to look at second base, and ball 2.
You mentioned the ability for them to go deep into the bench and rotate players. It speaks to the depth of the Italian team.
Yep.
Same with the Spanish team. They're pretty deep. A lot of experience on both benches.
Pounds that one into the dirt for a foul ball right in front of the Spanish dugout. Well, once again, the Italian batter managing to go fairly long, getting 6, 7, 8 pitch at bats here. Just
That's right.
Wears on a pitcher.
Not making it easy in the early going here for Hernandez.
No. Yeah, the 2-2 pitch ready. Chelly puts Beltley back deep in center field, who at the warning track catches the ball for the second out. Mineo tags up to advance to third base on that fly ball to the center fielder, Beltley.
It was a towering fly ball to deep center. A little bit more breeze, and that may have carried a little further. Flags are now still again in dead center field, so no help from Mother Nature on that one.
Left fielder, our favorite name, Aldo. We'll stick with Aldo. One time I'll say it, though. Yeah, Aldo Kotsoyanopoulos is stepping to the plate.
I'm with you, John. We'll stick with Aldo.
He's 3 for 9 so far in the series, or in this championship. 3 RBIs. First pitch coming in, and it's called strike. Mineo with a short lead off third base.
Italy threatening here to put another one on the board early.
Yeah. And he hits a ground ball to the shortstop, who reels it in and throws out Aldo to end the top of the second inning. No runs scored on 1 hit for Italy. We'll be back for the bottom half of the second shortly.
In der Nähe des Pizzastandes, da könnt ihr mit dem Stadion als Hintergrund ein Erinnerungsfoto schießen lassen. Das Schöne an
We're back in Bonn with the home plate umpire finishing his duties and cleaning home plate with his brush and stepping to the plate to lead off the second inning. The bottom of the second inning is Ustariz, the first baseman. Jesus Ustariz so far in this championship, 3 for 8. He takes ball 1. And it'll be very easy to know how players are doing, the Spanish batters, whether they're getting a lot of calls for balls or that one definitely a strike because, no, ball, but not nearly the cheer that ball 1 gathered or garnered. And strike 2.
Looks at a fastball right down the middle.
Two and 1 count. That's ball 3. Luis Lugo falls behind in the count on the first batter of the second inning. bottom of the second. And Ustariz takes ball 4 for a walk. That one low. And already cheers from the Spanish bench, dugout.
Their first base runner of the afternoon after going down 1-2-3 in the first inning.
The first baseman will be chatting, I'm sure, a little bit with his counterpart at first base, Ustariz, with taking a short lead. Left-handed pitcher Luis Lugo looking right at him and delivers the pitch. Ball 1 to, or strike 1 to Galvan, the left fielder. 0-1. Galvan launches that one low and slightly away for ball 1. 1-1.
Spanish hitters showing some discipline here. Make Mr. Lugo work here in the second inning.
Yep. And he grounds that one ball, and third base coach with a nice pickup, nice grab. Makes the count 1-2 now. Nobody out. Spain's first hitter this inning got the first base on a base on balls. And Galvan goes down swinging.
Big cut at a high fastball.
That's the first out in the bottom of the second. Coming to the plate is Jesus Martinez, the designated hitter for Spain. Big man in the lineup. Obviously, a designated hitter is going to be a good hitter. He's 4 for 6 so far in the championship. Has 1 home run to his name. And that pitch is high to Martinez. Jesus Martinez. Fernando Martinez.
Could very well be
Jesus Fernando Martinez.
There you go. There you go.
He hits skies one in the air in the third base. And he had camps under that one, Mazzanti. He had a lot of time and waited for it to come down for the second out here in the bottom half of the second. Martinez goes down easily. And that brings up the right fielder, Giancarlo Franco.
2 down, a man on first.
It's Franco who watched that 2-run home run sail over his head in the right center field. So he was helpless in that at-bat. And Giancarlo Franco takes ball 1. He's 2 for 9 in the championship so far. Ustariz with a short lead off of first. Lugo looks over, winds up pitches, and strike 1. 1-1 the count. We have 2 outs already here in the bottom of the second. Vigo gets the sign. Lugo gets the sign and swings at that high pitch. The Spanish are a little undisciplined on the high balls there, huh?
It's the third hitter we've seen go after that high fastball.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit out of the zone, that one was.
It counts 1-2 now. To Giancarlo Franco. And one inside.
That one caught the inside corner.
The inside of the plate.
Franco.
Not too inside, and Franco has to...
He had a word or two for the home plate umpire.
Yep.
Certainly disagreed with that one, but down he goes, looking for the third out.
And we'll be back in a few minutes with Italy leading 2-0 against Spain.
zuckenden, juckenden Augen, nicht mit Purpursaat, den innovativen Kapseln zur oralen Einnahme. Sei voll da, wenn's drauf ankommt. Erhältlich in Apotheken und unter shop.sanoctua.com.
As you see on your TV screen, Italy leading Spain 2-0 on a 2-run home run by first baseman Colabello in the bottom half, or in the top half of the first inning. We're in the top half of the third, and home plate umpire Steinar van Groningen Schinkel, I'll practice my Dutch there, he's calling the balls and strikes. First base umpire is Tim Meyer. He's from Germany, with Miroslav Keigl from the Czech Republic at third. And already the batter for Italy is Maggi. He's up his second time today. He hit into a 5-3 ground out in the first inning. He takes ball 3. Maggi
quickly works that count to 3-0.
Watches that one for strike 1.
Hernandez finds the strike zone with that 3-0 pitch.
In this tournament, Maggi is 3 for 10, and he reaches first base on a base on balls. 5 pitches. So their first leadoff man to get on base in this game for Italy. And that brings the second baseman, Alessandro Vaglio, to the plate in this championship. He's batting 1 for 9. One of the Italians not having a lot of success at the plate. He squares the bunt and pulls back. Ball 1.
Third baseman for Spain charging in on an apparent bunt.
Rodriguez, he's now in on the grass. Ustariz holding the base runner at first. Maggi. And Hernandez throws to first.
Keeping a close eye on him, Italy has shown some aggressiveness early on the base pass here, so not a bad idea to keep him close.
1-0 pitch now, too. And another throw to first base. Maggi back easily. While Vaglio waits for the next pitch.
Not knowing a lot of Maggi's history, I think it's fair to assume he's got a decent set of wheels playing shortstop.
And he squares up and pulls back for ball 2. Vaglio preparing to sacrifice himself, but he's ahead on the count already, 2-0. Maggi gets his primary lead. Pitcher Hernandez looks over, throws the plate for strike 1.
Pitch count for Hernandez got to be above 40 now.
Oh, yeah. And he throws to first base yet again. Although Maggi hasn't stolen a base, nor has he tried, but there's enough concern by the Spanish team, Hernandez and probably getting the signal from Ocho, throw it over to first a couple times. Keeping Nagi honest. On the rubber now, Hernandez again. Throws to the plate, and that bat is shattered as the ball goes to shortstop, and they turn. The 6-4-3 double play. That was bang, bang play, and the bat went bang, bang as it shattered towards the third baseman. Far, far away from him, but 2 outs on what was a exceptionally well played double play by Bethencourt to Angulo, and then on to Studies. Turning 2, and wiping the...
Certainly was a broken bat. It basically sawed that bat in half. The barrel was just to the left of the mound out there.
Stepping up to the plate is John Andreoli. He turned a single into a double in his first at-bat in the first inning, and after the center fielder, for all intents and purposes, was a little too lackadaisical getting to the ball, and Andreoli just kept on rolling. And he was driven in then one batter later by Colabello on a home run, and those are the 2 runs for Italy. And that pitch high for ball 2. We have 2 outs already here in the top half of the 3rd inning. John Andreoli takes ball 3. No, gets strike 1. I thought that looked low. No. And it's 2-1 to count now to John Andreoli. Well, Rodriguez prepares for the pitch. He gets the sign.
Big cut, a swing and a miss at that fastball right down the middle.
Right down the middle, and Andreoli couldn't connect.
Got a full count. Hernandez would like to make this his first
3 at-bat inning, huh?
First 1, 2, 3 adventure.
Yeah, walks yet another batter. Andreoli takes first base on a base on balls. That's the second in the game for Italy. Andreoli, center fielder, he has wheels, so he'll be curious to see if he decides to advance, take a stolen base.
It's one of those things that really irritates a coach, is the 2-out walk.
Yeah. And Hernandez steps off quickly and throws to first base. Of course, there might not be much reason to advance to second or try and steal, because Colabello, the cleanup hitter, is up. He already has hit 1 home run in this game. Might just want to let him try that again. Hernandez in the stretch, and he throws to first base.
They are intent on keeping that runner close to the bag.
Yeah. Number 94 gets the sign. Pitches for ball 1. Well, last time Colabello sent the first pitch over the fence. He takes ball 1 this time. One and 0 count. And that one. Ball 2. To Christopher Colabello.
As a hitter, this is what you're looking for when you're feeling good at the plate. Is that 2-0 count?
Pitch comes and checks. Yeah. Did they appeal? Waiting to see if there was a call here.
He said he went.
Yeah, he went around for a strike one.
No argument from the Italian side.
Yeah. 2-1 count, 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Team Italy have a runner on first base on a 2-out walk.
Hernandez taking his time on the mound.
He's slowing it down for sure.
He is very methodical at the moment.
And Colabello ready, and the pitch comes. Ball 3.
Like a slider that was upstairs, missed high.
A 3-1 count. Italy has frequently forced Hernandez to go at a 4, 5, 6, 7 pitch at bats. It'll take its toll eventually. And that one down low at its feet for ball 4, and 2 batters in a row walked, 3 in total this inning, but the first walk was taken out on a double play. That leaves Andreoli, he advances to second, and Colabello takes his place at first base, bringing up the third baseman, Giuseppe Mazzanti.
Well, if a 2-out walk irritates a coach, back-to-back 2-out walks doesn't do much better.
Yeah. This first at-bat, Mazzanti grounded out to the shortstop, Bethencourt. And first pitch gets a little bit of a surprise there from Mazzanti. He takes strike 1. Took a long, hard look at the umpire there. And Hernandez, almost after every pitch, goes to the back of the mound, not all the way off of it, but is and appeal unsuccessful. Count is 1-1 now.
Spanish defense certainly playing this hitter, Mazzanti, like a pull hitter. They're giving him a good portion of right field wide open.
Yeah. Big hole in on the right side of the infield
as well.
And Mazzanti hits a line drive into center field, right center field, and that drives home Andreoli for the third run of this game for Italy. They increase their lead to 3-0 on that line drive single to the right fielder. Colabello advances 1 base. He's at second. Andreoli scores on the base hit, the single.
Spanish coach making his way out to the mound for a little visit. Just like we were talking about, John, it all started with the 2-out walks.
2 out walks, 2 of them. And
really incredible how many times they can come back to haunt a pitcher.
Well, Renny Duarte, the pitching coach, out there to, if nothing, just give him a sign of, hey, you can get out of this inning, you're okay. And home plate umpire doesn't have to go all the way out to the mound to break up the little conference. So coming to the plate now is Reginato. Mattia Reginato flew out in the last inning, and he hits solidly to Bethencourt, who tosses to second baseman Angulo to end the third inning, but not before Italy score yet another run after two 2 out walks and a single. And heading to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's 3-0 here in Bonn. Heading into the bottom of the 3rd inning, Spain find themselves already down in the hole, 3 runs behind. Camera's in on us, Bob. Wave to it. As Spain look to get their bats going. So far in this game, Spain with just 1 runner on base. Leading off will be the catcher, Blake Ochoa. Italian pitcher Lugo having relatively few problems at the moment in this game, and throws ball 1.
Little energy from the Spanish dugout right below us here to start the bottom of the 3rd. Would love to get another base runner.
Get a little chatter. Strike 1 to Ochoa. Ochoa in the tournament so far, 1 for 6. Scored 2 runs, however. It's been hit by a pitch 2 times. And fouls that one back.
Good healthy cut at that pitch.
Yeah. Looked good, too. Lugo gets the sign. Winds up and pitches. High, towering pop fly just in foul territory, and then the second baseman, Valio, calls off the first baseman, Colabello, to grain that one in, and in foul territory for the first out of the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ochoa pops out in foul territory to the second baseman. That brings up then the 9th hitter in the lineup for Spain. That's Leon Martin Rodriguez. They're playing 3rd base today. Right-handed hitter takes ball 1. Lugo not nearly as methodical. He's in a groove, and he doesn't want to wait around as he gets moving. And strike 1. As Rodriguez swings through that ball. Rodriguez himself 1 for 9 in the tournament. Next pitch comes high for ball 2. And Rodriguez settles in the box, and that's a high ball that he swings at and misses for strike 2. 2-2. Lugo's in a good rhythm at the moment. Next pitch comes, and Rodriguez fouls it back.
Another high fastball.
Yeah. Lugo gets the sign. And throws a curveball and froze. Rodriguez, who takes called ball or strike 3. And that curve nicely right into the strike zone in the back door, so to speak. Rodriguez knew it. Didn't have any complaints. Wasn't wondering that he was called out on strikes. And we come back to the top of the batting order for Spain with Angel Bailtre, the left-handed center fielder. He grounded out to second in his first at-bat, and that one, he lines into center field. Takes a big turn at first base, but right fielder Chelly gets the ball in time to the shortstop Maggi. And the
first base hit of the afternoon.
First base hit, second base runner. Beltley with a single. Next up is Johnny Bethencourt. He is 3 for 9. Also been hit by a pitch in this tournament. The shortstop settles in. Lugo looks to first. Pitches. Strike 1.
Spain looking at a possible 2-out rally here. It all starts with one base hit, those 2-out rallies.
Or a walk.
Or a walk.
Like
That's
Italy
right.
did last inning.
The dreaded 2-out walk. Base hit here, and I think we're going to hear a lot of noise right below us from the Spanish dugout.
The 0-1 pitch comes in. Strike 2.
Fastball got him. This is where Lugo got Rodriguez looking. Was following that fastball with an off speed that was just a beautiful curveball.
Beltley with a lead, a healthy lead off first base. And Bethencourt pops one up behind second base. And that one was caught by Valio to end the third inning here. With the score, Italy 3, Spain 0. You're listening and watching to the European Baseball Championships on Baseball Softball TV. We're back in Bonn. Coming to the top of the fourth inning with Italy leading 3-0, and starting the leadoff hitter in the fourth inning will be the designated hitter Leginato. He hits a first pitch to the center fielder for a single. No messing around there. The designated hitter Reginato. Now 1 for 2. And that brings up the catcher, Alberto Mineo. And Mineo, he scored last inning to give Italy its third run after hitting a double. Reginato, the designated hitter, with a conservative lead off first. And Mineo takes a big cut. Strike one. Jelly. Yep. So what do we have?
Mineo's on first.
Mineo's on first side, and I missed my record keeping was poor here. Okay. Thank you very much.
That single gives him a 2-for-2 day.
All righty.
After that double.
So I'll take all of that back. Mineo with the leadoff single, and Celli at the plate.
Celli flied out to center last time up.
Pitch comes. Strike. Strike two to Celli. Oh-2 pitch coming. That's high. Ball one to Celli.
Way upstairs with that fastball.
Yep.
Can't really see the Spanish bullpen. I'm wondering if there's any activity down there.
Good question.
Hernandez pitch count getting up there.
And that a high one. Strike three.
Celli knew it, not happy with himself, walking back to the dugout. He swung at ball two.
Took the bait there. Rodriguez lured him into that one. That was letter high, and those are hard to hit. When you hit them, then they usually go a long way. Your chances are minimal.
That's right, John. That's the wheelhouse for a lot of hitters.
Yeah. Which brings up Aldo. And
grounded out to short his last time up.
Takes ball one.
Hernandez maintaining his methodical approach. Just inside with that pitch.
Ball two. Mineo, the catcher, on first base. One out. And the 31-year-old veteran on the mound for Spain. Getting ready for the next pitch. 2-0 count. Comes in and ground ball to the second baseman, who goes to short and turned the 4-6-3 double play to end the fourth inning. At the top of the fourth, with Italy leading 3-0 versus Spain. You're watching the European Baseball Championships. Luis Lugo takes his last warm-up pitch as we enter the bottom of the fourth inning. Italy leading 3-0. Don't know if you'd say comfortably, but so far only one hit for Spain. 2 base runners. Alfugo in good command. And first pitch to Angulo is ball 1.
A lot of chatter in the Spanish dugout right below us in between innings trying to get some energy.
And he hits a ball up, right back up the middle for a base hit single. Oh. Angulo reaches first base to start off the bottom of the fourth inning. A lot more chatter now in the Spanish dugout. Stepping into the batter's box is first baseman Ustariz. Ustariz reached first base in his last at-bat, or his first at-bat, which was a walk, plate appearance. And first pitch is in, ball 1, low.
Somewhat of a shift in the Italian defense.
Also shading him a little bit to the left side of the field, and he hits a line shot to the left fielder, Aldo. And Spain get their first 2 hitters on base. Back-to-back singles. And that really lights a fire in the dugout. Spain looking to get back into this game. And finally making some good contact against Lugo, who's kept him in check the first 3 innings. Coming into the plate now is the left fielder, Galvan.
2 solid hits, nothing cheap about either one of those, John.
No. And the first pitch is high for ball 1. Runners on first and second. Left fielder Galvan ready for the pitch. And Mineo goes out to talk with Lugo, possibly about signs and whether because of the runner on second base, switch things up a little bit, make sure that there's no sign stealing of any sorts.
Typically a team will have 2 or 3 different sets depending on situations like this. They probably went to their secondary set of signs.
First pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Mineo for ball 2. Spain rallying.
Looking to get on the board. We can sense the energy just below us in the dugout. Notching up an octave or 2, John.
Yeah. Next pitch delivered, and a ground ball to the second baseman. He turns to short, who goes to first for a double play, and all of a sudden the rally fizzles a little bit. Angulo could advance to third base on the play, but nicely turned 4-6-3 double play by Valio to Maggi and on to Colabello. Leading Spain with 2 outs now.
Pitcher's best friend out there is the double
Pitcher's
play.
best friend. And stepping into the plate is Martinez. Designated hitter. Left-hander against left-hander.
Popped out to first base his last time up.
Takes strike 1. Angulo moving down the third baseline and a swing and a miss. Martinez finds himself in the hole, 0-2 now. Lugo
Good fastball from Lugo. A little adrenaline flowing right now for him, I'm sure. Love to get out of this after giving up 2 hits to open the inning.
Got Angulo trying to distract him, moving back and forth down the third base line. Ball 1 to Martinez.
Same time, Lugo paying no attention to that run over there on third.
And drives that one into the ground and for a foul ball. Count remains 1-2. Spain looking for their first run in this game. A runner on third with 2 outs. Base hit will naturally drive that in. And Martinez looking to be the man who gets that base hit. And weak swing. He was lured into swinging at a high pitch for strike 3. And no runs come across the plate despite back-to-back leadoff singles for Spain. And the score remains Italy 3, Spain nothing. Returning to Bonn now, the books on Hernandez, the Spanish pitcher, starting pitcher today, are now officially closed after 4 innings. And he has been replaced by Baez, by Fernando Baez, a right-handed pitcher, who will look to make sure the Italian lead does not expand anymore. Currently it's 3-0. We're heading to the top of the 5th. And this time of day, it's 4:15 here in Europe and Germany, and the shadows are starting to drift towards home plate. There's a line of trees behind the stands and the dugout on the first base side, and the sun slowly drifting behind them. The first pitch from Baez is a ball.
Yeah, those shadows just creeping towards home plate. Another 30 minutes or so, and they may have an effect.
And
Baez, a big, strong-looking right-hander. Shares a last name with a very well-known Chicago Cub player of Javier Baez. Not that I am biased at all.
Biased for Baez?
Biased for Baez I am. One of the more exciting players to watch play the game in Major League Baseball. There's no question about that.
Baez gets his first strike and counts as 2-1. And a big cut there by Maggi, the shortstop. In his third at-bat, he drew a walk in the third inning and grounded out to this first baseman in his first at-bat in the game. Counts 2-2. As both pitcher and batter settle in. Pitch comes from Baez. Oh, and careful there as he pulled that one right into the, just in front of the dugout of Spain.
way out in front of that pitch.
Way out in front. To get it to turn it that hard, you have to be way in front.
That's quick hands right there.
Yeah. Magi with the 2-2 pitch again, and he fouls that one back behind first base dugout. Count remains 2-2. Hernandez in his appearance gave up 3 earned runs in 4 innings of pitching, and Magi lines one to Beltre, who gets on his horse a little quicker, more quickly this time to get it in, get that on his glove, and Magi flies out to center fielder for the first out in the top of the 5th inning. That brings up the second baseman, Alessandro Vaglio. He grounded into a double play in the 3rd inning, struck out in the 1st, 0 for 2. First pitch in for a strike.
Nice off-speed pitch from Baez. That one, a curveball that one hop the catcher. Low for ball 1.
That one also low, ball 2. 2-1 to count to the second baseman, Team Italy, Vaglio. And that one fouled back. 2-2 the count. Two pitch coming from Baez, and seeing eye fly ball lands right in front of the right fielder for a single. Vaglio's first hit in the game.
Just kind of stuck the bat out and poked that one into shallow right field.
Yeah.
Easy single.
With one out, runner on first for Team Italy. Coming to the bat is the center fielder, Andreoli. He scored 2 runs already in this game after getting a double in the 1st inning and walking in the 3rd. Advanced all the way around after a walk and a single to give Italy its 3rd run. First pitch is in for a strike from Baez, 0-1 to count. Gets the sign. Pitch comes. That one's high and inside.
High and inside. The old-fashioned term we don't hear anymore, John, is chin music. Baez showing a little chin music.
Yeah. He gets the sign from Ochoa. And pitch comes, curveball.
Nice pitch.
In for strike 2. Watching the umpire, it's a little frustrating to see how long he takes to make his call, huh?
Yeah, not real demonstrative back there.
1-2 pitch coming. And gets Andreoli swinging. Some nice heat there. The second out of the inning.
Fastball at the letters.
Stepping up to the plate now is man who has 2 RBIs in this game with his first inning home run, the first baseman Christopher Colabello. Throw to first. Sends Vaglio diving, but no threat. 2 outs in the top half of the 5th.
Colabello walked his last time up. Former pitcher didn't want to have anything to do with him his second time up.
big swing there.
Good healthy cut and fouls that one behind the backstop.
Makes the count 0-1. Baez steps off the rubber, steps back on, takes a look at Valio, the first runner on first base. Looks at the catcher and delivers the pitch. Ball one. 1-1 to Colabello. The top of the order of Italy has been very successful today, responsible for all 3 runs. The top half counts 1-1. And that one is called strike by umpire Van Groningen. 1-2 now the count. 2 outs. Pitch comes, and Colabello fouls that one back.
Another high fastball. He was hoping to put that one in the trees
Yep.
as well.
Batters been going for those today.
They certainly have. We've seen a lot of hitters chasing that high fastball.
Yeah. It's just very difficult. Just a fraction of a second there quicker and getting your bat that high is not easy. Next one of the foul backs. Colabello stays alive. He got some off speed there.
That was a 2-strike protection,
Yep.
self-protection swing there,
Yeah.
just to foul it back and keep the at-bat alive.
The catcher Ochoa goes out to the mound. Have another discussion with Baez. Trying to figure out how they're going to punch out Colabello. They've tried speed. They've tried off speed. New ball for the pitcher.
So a lot of respect shown the hitter with 2 outs and a 1-2 count when the catcher decides to go out and have a chat with the pitcher, saying, let's not make a mistake here with this guy.
1-2 count. Pitch comes, and that one gets away from the catcher, Ochoa, allowing Valio to advance to second base. On the wild pitch. Let's see, wild pitch. Yeah, certainly was. Hard one there to stop. He would have had to have really thrown his body at it and his chest protector to smother it.
It's one of those 58-foot curveballs again, John, that tests a catcher's ability to keep that ball in front of him.
Yeah. That makes the count 2-2. Colabello drawing this at-bat, extending it. Runner now on second base, Valio. And that another protection, self-preservation there. Foul ball. Count remains 2-2.
Colabello not making it easy on Baez here with 2 outs, and now the runner in scoring position.
Next pitch is on its way. Baez looks at second. Turns the pitches and a smash that Bethencourt dives to stop and throws out the runner, Colabello. Excellent play there by the shortstop. That was worthy of the highlight reels, huh?
No doubt. One of the more athletic plays we've seen in the infield today, for sure.
Solid hit there, stopped by Bethencourt.
Spanish shortstop laying out to make the play and then to his feet quickly to make the throw to first to get the runner and saving a run at the same time.
You're watching the European Baseball Championships on Baseball Softball TV. And we're back here in Bonn. Caught me a little off guard there. As Lugo already throws the first pitch to the first batter this inning, and that is the right fielder Flanco. Count already 1-1.
Giancarlo Franco struck out looking his first time out.
And the count's 2-1 now.
More energy right below us from the Spanish dugout.
They're very energetic on that first batter. Blanco takes the pitch. Ball 3.
Looking to get their leadoff hitter on.
Yeah, just like last inning. Got their leadoff first. Two singles to lead off last inning. And Blanco takes strike 2. Full count. The bottom third of the order, the Spanish batting order, and the payoff pitch comes. Ground ball to the second baseman, Valio, who tosses it over to Colabello for the first out of the inning. 4-3. And that brings up the Team Spain catcher, Blake Ochoa.
Lugo just seems to be cruising right along here.
Yeah, encountered few difficulties last inning. He got out of it with a nice double play after those 2 leadoff singles. Ochoa, in his first at-bat, popped out to the third baseman. He takes ball 1. 0 for 1. And a high fly ball to the right fielder, Celli. He gets under it and catches it easily for the second out of the inning. So
only one other hit for the Spanish team besides those 2 singles to start the last inning. So Lugo very comfortable here this afternoon. He almost looks like he's on autopilot. Very little emotion.
Solid job. Yeah, not much more to say. What you want your starting pitcher to do. If he finishes this inning, he could be in the decision, assuming that there are no lead changes or Spain don't come back, then he would be eligible for the win. But we've got a lot of play left. And the second pitch is in at the knees for strike 1.
That's true, John. A lot of baseball left here this afternoon. The Spanish team can erupt at any time.
Yep. And that one is low and away for ball 2. 2-1 to Blake Ochoa. Lugo gets the signal to Rodriguez. And pops out to end that inning. Sorry, yeah, Ochoa had bat platted before. And that's 1-2-3 for Luis Lugo. And we played 5 full innings here. Italy leads Spain 3-0 on the Baseball Softball TV network.
Von trockenen, juckenden Augen, nicht mit Purpursan, den innovativen Kapseln zur oralen Einnahme. Sei voll da, wenn's drauf ankommt. Erhältlich in Apotheken und unter shop.zanoctua.com.
That went very quickly, and I fell behind on who the final batter was. I forgot that Blake Ochoa had already flied out to the right fielder, and Rodriguez then popped up to the catcher with a very easy inning for Luis Lugo. Now 5 full innings, no runs surrendered so far. Italy comes to the plate, comes to bat in the top half of the 6th.
No activity down there in the Italian bullpen either, so Lugo may be making an appearance here in the 6th inning, depending on what his team does here offensively.
And leading off the top of the 6th is going to be the third baseman, Mazzanti. Mazzanti has a single and a ground out so far in this game. 1 for 2. He takes strike 1. Next pitch comes. That's in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 to count. Paez throws. And ball 2. 2-1 to count. Paez delivers, and that's a hard shot past the diving third baseman Rodriguez for a single. Leadoff single here in the top of the 6th for Italy.
Mazzanti's second hit of the afternoon gives him 2 for 3 days so far.
2 for 3 so far, and coming to the plate is the designated hitter, Leginato. Leginato flew out or popped up to the first baseman and grounded out on a fielder's choice. In the 3rd inning, he's 0 for 2. He squares the bunt and fouled that one back, I believe, for the first strike.
High fastball. He couldn't get the barrel on it to put it down and play. Fouled it back to the backstop.
Italy playing basics here. A couple times they've got the leadoff hitter on, and they tried to square for a bunt, although they haven't successfully laid one down, even for the sacrifice. And now Leginato fouled that one back for strike 2. He's given up on the bunt. Got the signal from the dugout, swing away, and now he's more or less forced to. 0-2 the count to the designated hitter.
Another heater that got away from Baez a little bit. Even too high for chin music there. It was inside, but over his head.
Next pitch coming to Leginato. The designated hitter fouls that one back. Count remains 1-2. Mazzanti, the third baseman, no real threat to steal. With a modest lead at first base. Baez ready for the pitch. 1-2 count. And that one just fouled off as Leginato checked his swing. One and 2 count still, nobody out in the top of the 6th for Italy. Pitch comes and checked the swing in time, and that ball was in the dirt.
Much to the chagrin of the Spanish dugout below us. That was close.
It was a good call. I think that was a reasonable, justifiable call, we'll say. 2-2 pitch coming now to Leginato. And that one he's punched out by home plate umpire Van Groningen with a reverse K for your scorecards. Caught looking. Which brings up the catcher, Mineo, Roberto Mineo, with a double and a single, 2 for 2 in this game. Runner still at first base with 1 out now. Mineo takes ball 1 in the dirt.
Baez calls time to take care of a minor wardrobe issue out there on the mound. He's back at it. Big cut. Strike 1.
Italy has in each inning managed to get at least 1 hit. Now have 7 total for the game. In addition, and there's a big cut there from Mineo again. Makes the count 1-2.
Nice looking curveball from Baez.
In addition to the 7 hits, they have 3 walks, Team Italy. 1-2 pitch comes, fouls that one as he lunges at it. Might be on our tent. Okay, but fortunately we have a tent above us.
We're not at the part of the afternoon where there's the legions of kids chasing foul balls here yet either. This evening they'll be back in force for the German-Czech Republic game.
Netherlands.
Netherlands, I'm sorry. I stand corrected.
There's another ball launched into foul territory. Count remains 1-2. The German baseball team would do well to make amends for the German soccer team that got a sort of thrashing at the hands of Netherlands on Friday, 4-2. If the German baseball team could do the same, that would be a small payback.
Be a big victory for Team Germany if they can pull that off.
Another ball fouled back.
Mineo hanging tough here.
1 out, runner on first base. Baez looking to find the key to striking out Mineo. He hasn't found it yet. Next pitch comes, and a grounder to the first baseman who throws to second for the out, and the runner is safe at first base. Heads up play there by the first baseman, Ustariz, to throw to second. To get the lead runner and a second out.
Also Baez on the spot, running over to cover first.
Also very good fundamentals. The pitcher would, you almost would think the first baseman would just run to first base and get that easy out, but he took the lead runner, and that gets the lead runner out, and Chelly, the center fielder, steps up to the plate.
Not all pitchers can field their positions fundamentally like that.
Yeah.
First pitch hits him.
Hit batsman, Chelly. And that's the second time he's been hit this tournament. Oh. Mineo goes to second base. Chelly takes first on the hit by pitch. Bringing up the left fielder, Aldo Koutosoyanopoulos. And the first pitch is in for a strike. I just can't stay away from trying to pronounce that name.
You've done very well, John. I'm sticking with Aldo. We'll just call him Aldo.
Runners now on first and second with 2 outs. And Aldo takes a big cut there for strike 2. Baez looking to end this inning with no damage.
2 men on, 2 out, 2 strikes.
0-2 count. Comes in. That one's high for ball 1.
Trying to get another Italian hitter to chase that high heater.
quiet in the grandstands here, not a lot of noise. And there's a solid hit that goes to the right center field. And the center fielder comes in. Center fielder Beltley takes over a small collision with right fielder Franco, but he catches the ball and ends the top half of the 6th inning. No run scored on one hit, and we're going to the bottom of the 6th shortly. It's the European Baseball Championships.
Are we right? We're on the same page?
And we are on the same page back in Bonn. Luis Lugo still on the mound for Italy, and really no reason to take him out of this game. He's done an exceptional job against Team Spain, Italy's starting pitcher. And he'll be facing the top of the lineup for Spain. That'll be the 3rd time that they will be taking a look at the Italian starter. In leading off will be the center fielder Angel Beltre, who just caught that ball with a small collision with Giancarlo Franco. And Beltre turns to bunt, takes ball 1 instead. On deck is the shortstop Johnny Bethencourt. Ball 2. One more time. It'll be a little bit like a broken record. They're trying to start a rally here. And strike 1 to the center fielder. So far today, Bethencourt. And he takes that one and lines it into center field for a single with a big turn himself. And the leadoff runner now on one more time for Spain.
Good job by Beltre, just to put the bat on the ball and dump a single into shallow center. Once again, John, here we are, Spain with the leadoff man on base, looking to get something going here.
And that brings up the shortstop, Bethencourt. So far he has flied out and and a quick throw to first base from the catcher. Beltre has to dive back. Ball 1, 1-0 count on Bethencourt. Big lead from Beltre, and that second pitch is low and inside for ball 2. Hard to see from our perspective, but it would be very likely now that there would be activity in the Italian bullpen. There are some people, there are some arms warming up there, left-hander I see, and next pitch, fouled back by Bethencourt.
Indeed, there is a little activity down there in the Italian bullpen.
Count now 2-1.
Lugo looking for a ground ball here. That pitcher's best friend would certainly kill another potential Spanish rally.
Next pitch and line ball.
Just
foul. Hit the dirt. You could see something come up, but it must have been dirt and not chalk. Umpire right on top of that. Foul ball. Count is now 2-2.
Line shot down the right field line. That wasn't foul by much.
No. Because you can see how the dirt that leads into, but becomes the warning track is literally only inches away from the grass, which is fair.
Our vantage point, we couldn't tell whether that was chalk or dirt that came up, but obviously wasn't chalk according to the
umpire. Tim Meyer right on top of that. That count now 2-2. And another throw to first base. And Beltre gets back. Mineo 2 times has thrown to first after a pitch. Count is now full to Bethencourt.
Kind of a big spot at the game here for Spain. They really need to get something going.
Yep. They're at the top of the order, so this is where their offense lies. Best hitters, of course, in the top 4 or 5 slots. Beltre really keeping Lugo busy. And another throw to first.
He's doing his job over there as a base runner, distracting not only the pitcher but the catcher as well. I'm kind of surprised with a 3-run lead that Italy is so concerned about that runner.
Payoff pitch coming. Lugo throws and Bethencourt hits that one to the shortstop, the second, and he bobbles the ball, and Beltre is going to be safe. Or they called that he had the possession of the ball on the bag, and then as he pivoted to turn to throw, he dropped it. Oh, fielder's choice on that play.
Called him out. He held the ball long enough to get the force and simply bobbled it on the exchange.
Lugo a little disappointed. He did what he wanted to do, but Vario couldn't hold the ball as he was turning to complete the double play. And called out at second. Beltre in the batter's box now is the second baseman Angulo. And he takes that pitch and drives it to the center fielder. He gets under it. Bethencourt returns to first base, and all of a sudden there are 2 outs. Bethencourt really took it to Lugo for a while in his at-bat, but it's fizzling.
It is. Spain would really like to take advantage of that slight miscue by the Italian second baseman, because that was a double play in the making, no question about that.
Now batting is the first baseman, Jesus Ustariz.
Big, stocky first baseman.
And he gives a head on that off-speed pitch by Lugo. And
way out in front of that one, John.
0-1 count. Now the batters are being consumed by the shadows. That one's low, almost gets away from the catcher. Mineo does a good job to keep it in front of him. Bethencourt remains at first base.
Sometimes those shadows work to the pitcher's advantage. The hitter sees the ball coming out of the hand in the sun, and it's actually in the shade as it crosses the plate.
Yeah. Lugo looks to first, delivers ball 2. Two and 1 count on Ustariz. Lugo pitches, and that curve ball.
Slow breaking ball. Good pitch.
In for a strike. 2-2 now. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first for Team Spain. Throw over to first.
Gives Oosterhuis just another moment to work on this situation. It's kind of a guessing game. Breaking ball or fastball?
Lugo's ready. Pitch comes. Curveball, and he pulls that one to the third baseman, who gobbles it up. His throw gets past first baseman Colabello. And now Spain with 2 runners on base on second and third. Should have been an inning-ending play, but Mazzanti's throw was short in the dirt. And Colabello couldn't catch the ball, couldn't dig it out. And Spain can consider themselves getting a gift.
Could be the break they've been looking for. John, a 2-out error. That's got to be an E5 on the throw, I would imagine.
Yeah, Mazzanti just didn't put enough.
Didn't know. He
mustard on that one.
Came up a little lazy on the throw after fielding that ball cleanly.
The tying run now at the plate. That's Lester Galvan, the left fielder. One swing of the bat, and we could have a 3-3 game. Oh, 0-1 pitch. 0-2 now. After Galvan fouls that ball back.
Another fastball from Lugo. Think a little adrenaline in that one. He knows he should be in the dugout.
Runners on second and third for Team Spain. Their biggest threat of the game so far. 2 runners in scoring position. Galvan watches that ball as it bounces just in front of the plate. And again, Mineo with an excellent play to keep the ball in front of him. Count goes to 1-2 to Galvan, who is now completely in shadows. Next pitch comes, and he hits a line drive, and that one is over the head of the left fielder, Aldo. And that'll drive in 2 runs with a double. And so that error by Mazzanti on the previous ground ball has come back to haunt Italy. And we have a 1-run ball game now, with Galvan lining a shot over the head of Koutsoyanopoulos. A runner on second base, 2 runners across home plate.
Was just the break that Team Spain was looking for.
All of a sudden, we have a game.
Here comes the Italian manager out of the dugout to have a little chat with his starter, who's really thrown a heck of a game up to this point.
Dennis Cook, the pitching coach, having a discussion with his pitcher Lugo, who by no means can be blamed for any of those runs, unearned runs. As you just said, Bob, he should be kicking back, relaxing in the dugout.
Not happy at all. That's the game, though. Sometimes you got to have the back of your fielders, too. You can't be showing too much emotion out there.
The designated hitter steps in, Martinez. And that's fired up the Spanish dugout.
Made this a lot closer ball game here in the 6th.
3-2 score now. Pitch comes. That one's low and in the dirt. Ball 1-1 the count. The Italian manager, though, with all the confidence in the world for Lugo, Gilberto Girali, leaving that pitcher in. He's done a good job this game. And that's a ground ball to the first baseman. And there's going to be a race for first base. And Colabello is there first to end the 6th inning, bottom of the 6th. But Spain put 2 unearned runs across the plate and make this a 1-1 ball game. We'll be back in a few moments in the top of the 7th inning. We're back to live action here in Bonn. And Fernando Baez still on the mound. First pitch there to number 37 for Italy. That's the leadoff hitter, Andrew Maggi. And he hits a line drive that Beltre is unable to get to for a leadoff single in the top of the 7th.
Maggi's first hit of the afternoon.
Might say that's what the doctor ordered after the 2 runs came across in the bottom of the 6th. So Maggi leads off with a single.
Italy would love to respond here and put a couple of more on the board.
Exactly. Get some insurance back or bolster that lead some.
They've had a few base runners, but after putting 2 on the board in the top of the 1st, it's been relatively quiet.
And he lays down a bunt, and the pitcher Baez muddles that one, and both runners are safe. He didn't catch the ball first and then throw. He was thinking about throwing. You hear this all the time, Bob.
Yep. After we complimented him last inning on fielding his position, covering first on that double play, on this bunt right back to him. I think it kind of surprised him, and you're right. Instead of fielding the ball cleanly, he was looking up because I think he was considering going to second with the throw,
awesome.
Try to get the lead runner.
But that ball just hit the heel of his glove, and he never fielded it cleanly. Giving Italy their first 2 batters, they're on base. Maggi and Vaglio bringing up Mandreoli.
Just like that, Italy's got nobody out and 2 men on.
Yeah. Andreoli today 1 for 2 with a walk. He doubled his first at bat, and he hits a high foul ball in foul territory. First baseman Ustaris catches it to get an all-important first out on 1 pitch. Foul to the third baseman, or the first baseman. Runners naturally stay put. Coming to the plate now is Colabello. His home run in the first inning, responsible for the first 2 runs of this game.
This is the guy capable of doing damage with 1 swing of the bat.
Naturally, Baez aware of that. Won't challenge him possibly too much. However, there are already 2 runners on base, so you're not going to intentionally get him there with some poor pitching, bad pitches, and he takes a big cut at that one because he's thinking what you're thinking, Bob. let me put some runs on the board.
Yeah, that was a swing going for those trees out there again.
First inning, he hit a home run over the right center field fence. 0-1 the count in this at-bat. 1 out. Baez looking long back at second base. And that's ball 1. Waiting for Colabello to settle into the batter's box.
Maggi does have some wheels out there at second.
Turn to second and gets back safely.
Thus the throw. Team Spain would love to get out of this one with the pitcher's best friend here, the ground ball double play. Keep it a 1-run game.
1-1 pitch coming. Baez ready. Taking his time. And that one's inside for ball 2.
Baez missed with 2 fastballs in a row. Colabello's got to be thinking off speed here.
Yeah, it's at these moments that the pace slows down considerably. And he does come with off speed. And for a strike. Strike 2.
Good curveball that caught the outer half of the plate.
Colabello now 2-2 in the count. 1 out, runners in first and second for Team Italy. Baez ready. It's a pitch and ground ball.
Oh, what a bounce.
Shortstop that he boots. And Italy score a run after Bethencourt, who so marvelously ended last inning with the diving save. But he muffed that one, and Italy get one of those runs back that they gave up last inning. Let's see that replay. It just took a bad bounce.
I think you got to score that a hit. Again, he left his feet to try to make the play. He was in position to field that ground ball, and it just took a nasty high bounce at last.
It might have hit the seam there between the grass and the dirt, because it did not take a normal bounce. So,
definitely did not.
Italy grateful for that. It doesn't matter. And Colabello, if it's considered if it's called a hit, then that would be an RBI. Don't know if it'd be an RBI if it were an error.
No,
didn't think so.
Don't believe so.
And there's a long fly ball that the left fielder knows he's not going to be doing anything. But watch that leave the stadium, and all of a sudden, Italy bust this game open on a 3-run home run by third baseman Mazzanti.
That was a no-doubter, John.
No doubter. The Spanish players they didn't move.
No, they just turned around and looked. He crushed that one.
And that makes the score all of a sudden 7-2 when it looked like we had a game on our hands after Spain scored 2 times in the bottom of the 6th. Italy respond now with 4 runs, and there's only 1 out. Let's take a look at that replay, and Mazzanti, he knew it. He just tossed the bat away. And
that ball looks like
if it cleared the grandstands.
It looked like it did. I don't see anybody up there in the stands chasing a ball.
No. Oh, home run for Giuseppe Mazzanti. That's a 3-run dinger. And there, Leginato with the line drive to Beltway for the 2nd out of the inning. I don't know if you remember the Baltimore Oriole manager Earl Weaver.
I most certainly do.
Everybody else is like, who are you talking about now? But Earl Weaver, I think he said the manager's best friend or best buddy was the 3-run homer. And yeah, obviously those opportunities are more common than Grand Slam home runs. But they don't come up that often, the 3-run homer. I can see that's a lot of runs.
Earl Weaver goes back to the days when Brooks Robinson was playing, I believe.
Oh, that's right.
Weaver had a tendency to get thrown out of ball games, too.
He had a temper.
He was a fiery guy. Yeah. It's another part of the game that we don't see too much of anymore. Managers.
I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan besides being a Los Angeles Dodgers fan. And David Bell, the current manager, he's been, I think, tossed. I think he's calmed himself down the last month or so, but he's been ejected 8 times, and that was within the first 3 months. But maybe not so animated sometimes as like Billy Martin.
I was just going to say, John, I'm old enough to remember the Billy Martin era, or eras, because there was 4 of them as the New York skipper, and he got thrown out of games on a regular basis.
Okay, well, let's come back to the 2019 with strike 3 to Mineo, but not before a lot of damage was done to Team Spain. The score now, after 4 runs in the top half of the 7th for Italy, 7-2, the Italians lead. We're back in Bonn, and looking at some of the fans in the stands here on television. You got a beer in your hand, and at this time of day, I'm sure many people coming from work straight to the stadium here in the Rheinaue, near the banks of the Rhine River. Still on the mound for Team Italy is Luis Lugo. Certainly relieved after 2 unearned runs in the last inning that he gave up, or that the team gave up. That Team Italy responded with 4 runs of its own. And leading off the bottom of the 7th is the right fielder, Giancarlo Franco. First pitch in for a strike. Giancarlo Franco watches that one bounce in front of the home plate. Ball 1.
Only his 3rd at bat this afternoon. He struck out looking his first time and grounded out to the second baseman last time.
And there he has solid contact. And that one gets into pass into the corner for a double, stand-up double. Oh, Spain by no means throwing in the towel.
They are not going to go quietly.
Bottom of the 7th, the leadoff double for Giancarlo Franco. Coming to the plate.
7th inning has provided some fireworks so far, and Spain hoping to continue that to get back in this game down 7-2.
Ochoa Blake, the catcher, steps into the batter's box and takes ball 1.
Italy does have a lefty in the bullpen getting ready. I'd be surprised if Lugo makes it through this inning.
And he hits a soft line drive to the second baseman, Valio, for the first out of the inning. So just when it looks like sometimes Spain might get something going, that fizzles out, and then Italy handed something to them the last inning. But really, the pitcher Lugo has done a good job to avoid any real dicey situations, at least nothing that he can blame himself for. We have a runner on second still with 1 out. Coming to the plate is the left fielder. Number 19. If I'm right here, he's that's a new player, huh?
Looks like we've got a substitution for Rodriguez, who was the 3rd baseman.
That's right, and that's Edison Valerio, number 19. Infielder by trade, so it looks like that's all now for Rodriguez. Leon Martin Rodriguez out. In is Valerio. And he already has 2 balls. 2-0 count.
Chorus of back from the Spanish dugout to get their runner, who has a healthy lead since nobody's holding him on at second base.
Correct. Valerio with the strike, although he danced and looked like he was about ready to fall down trying to get away from that ball, but it's called a strike. 2-1.
Stepped out of the box himself as the disapproval below us from the dugout on that call. Really good off-speed breaking ball from Lugo. Totally fooled Valerio. He was way out in front of that one.
2-2 count now with 1 out. Runner on second base for Spain. Valerio swings. And he goes down swinging for the second out here in the bottom of the 7th. And manager for Italy, Girali, comes out and he signals to the bullpen for relief help. Interesting call, but maybe Lugo has hit his pitch count. And he said, okay, you've done your job. You've done a good job. We've got relievers who could close this thing down. Oh,
Quite possibly could be the case. I think that's a good call, John. Here comes another lefty out of the Italian dugout. We'll get his number here in a minute.
Good applause there for Lugo, who gave up 2 runs, but both unearned.
This looks like Michael Johnson, number 21.
Correct. Left-handed pitcher.
It's a name you and I have no problem with.
No problem. And my guess is he must have some American roots, but Italian heritage, ancestry. And while he is warming up, we're going to take a short break here on the Baseball Softball TV network. You're watching the European Baseball Championships. Italy are leading 7-2.
Now pitching for Team Italy, number 21, Michael Johnson.
And 6 2/3 innings. Luis Lugo did a fine job for Italy and helping his team win this game potentially. Now taking over is the left-hander, Michael Johnson. And the first pitch is fouled off.
Interesting. They're following a lefty with another lefty.
Well, they saw obviously Beltray as a left-hander. They figured, okay, well, let's just stick with that, make it hard on him. Beltray fouls off the first pitch. So Michael Johnson, spelling his name Johnsson, we made a strong assumption he is not straight from Italy, but highly likely an American with Italian ancestry. And he calls his catcher make sure things are all understood, which pitches are supposed to be coming their way. And home plate umpire already quick to end that conversation.
Take that assumption a step further that it's on his mother's side of the family.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Maybe they're just stacked with lefties on their pitching staff.
Well, I was looking at that, and they have 1, 2, 3 lefties in their pitching staff.
Trying to think of Team Germany. I'm not sure if we've got lefties on the staff, do we?
Pitching staff. That's a good question. I don't think we do.
I know the
pitch coming to Beltray, 0-2, and he fouls that one off just over our heads, probably.
One of the relievers I'm familiar with, a Bonn Capital, Maurice Wilhelm, is a righty himself. He comes out of the bullpen regularly.
Yeah. Short appearance last night. We got one out before handing it over to Sven Schürrle.
Did his job.
0-2 count to Beltray. Johnson comes in with the pitch. Outside for ball 1. Another foul ball.
Good cut way out in front of that pitch.
One and two count still.
Here in the bottom of the 7th, if they're going to chip away at a 5-run deficit, they need a hit right now.
Yep. Johnson gets the sign. Pitch comes, and one's high for ball 2. Beltre also fouling some pitches back, staying alive, and evens the count to 2-2. Must remember, there's a runner on second base, Jan-Carlo Funkel. Johnson pitches, and there's a ground ball that hits off of him, and no play can be made as it bounced too far behind him, behind the mound, the pitcher's mound. And that infield single, puts runners on first and third. 7-2 now, still, or I should say 7-2, but
right up the middle, bounced off the lower leg of Johnson. Here comes the trainer out to take a look at him. He appears to be okay. Probably more upset that he couldn't make a play there on that ball than.
No, there's a large crowd surrounding him. Umpire also wants to know what's going on. Take another look at that. Hits his right knee, bounces off his left calf. No chance to make a play after it bounced good 20, 30 feet behind the pitcher's mound. Shortstop also didn't have a play on it. So
Italian manager has a few words with the catcher on the way out the field, kind of using it as a unannounced mound visit.
And, it doesn't count, huh?
Right.
Takes a warm-up pitch. Johnson, he says he's fine. If he ends the inning, then you can say that was the right thing. Obviously, it was not a problem. If something happens, then everybody will start second-guessing whether he should have stayed in, whether the manager at that point shouldn't have done something and brought in a new pitcher. Happens
a lot.
Of course, you have 20/20 hindsight, but Johnson's convinced he can pitch.
Well, and
bringing to the plate.
Betancourt,
the shortstop. Pitch is low, and
they called a balk.
Called a balk.
That brings a run in addition to moving the runner from first over to second.
Well, Beltre was dancing around, and apparently Johnson, I honestly did not see what he might have done to have a balk called against him.
Believe he hesitated.
Must have hesitated, yeah.
Once you start your move to either first or home, you got to complete the move.
And run crosses the plate. 7-3 now. Runner on second base, Beltre. And that first pitch fouled back. Strike one to Betancourt. Must have been simply a strange motion in his arms that got the umpire to call that, because it didn't seem unusual to me. But I'm not an umpire.
The guys below us in the Spanish dugout called it too right away.
They were quick to call it, so obviously they know more than I do, and they're playing every day. They'll see a balk when they know when they see one.
There's no easier run. That is a pure gift there, a balk with a runner on third.
Yep. 0-2 count now to Betancourt, however. And that next pitch, curveball just off the edge of the outer edge of the plate for ball one. 7-3.
Yeah, that easy gift run does cut the lead down to 4 runs. Something that Spain was looking for here in the bottom of the 7th is to start chipping away. They're running out of chances.
Yep. Johnson ready, and ground ball to the shortstop, and Beltre going home. And he made a bad decision there.
There
made
he
a
did.
bad decision.
That ground ball was fielded cleanly. The throw was late to first base.
Yep.
But the first baseman fielded it on one hop with a quick throw to home, and they got Beltran easy. Something that you don't want to do is make that third out either at third base or home plate, especially when you're down by 4 runs.
Yeah, that run is not important. We'll be back in a few moments. Attempt when you're down 4 runs at this latest stage of the game. Spain have a new pitcher.
They do. Number 21 makes his appearance here this afternoon.
That's Eduardo Miliani.
Eduardo Miliani. Also, Valerio stays in the game at third base after pinch hitting last inning.
Leading off the top of the 8th for Team Italy is Celli. Federico Celli, so far today, he has been hit by a pitch, struck out, flied out to center field. And that's ball 1. 1-1 count now on Celli. And strike 2. But Colabello did a good job to stop that ball.
He did.
Because it was a throw in the dirt. And as strikes out Celli looking.
Yeah, we couldn't tell whether Beltran rounded third, kept going on his own, or whether the coach was telling him to.
Yeah.
He may have thought that ball got by the first baseman,
possible.
Being in the dirt, but first baseman heads up, fielded it on one hop, made a good throw to home to get him.
Now batting for Team Italy is Aldo Koutsianopoulos. Aldo.
I'm sticking with Aldo.
I went into the dugout. I wanted to see if he maybe had a shortened version of his name or a nickname, and he gets hit by a pitch. And he takes first base. That's the second time he's been hit in this tournament.
First time he's on base this afternoon.
Yeah.
Not what Spain wants is more Italian base runners here to start the 8th inning.
With 1 out now, Italy get yet another runner on base. They've had a runner or a hit in every inning. Now that's not a hit, but it's just yet another base runner. Emiliani throws ball 1. To the leadoff hitter, at the top of the order now, again, for Italy, Maggi.
He's 1 for 3 with a walk and scored a run in that 7th inning where they played it 4.
Ball's inside. Second ball to Maggi. Now the whole infield practically, where there's a cloud that's cast a shadow over the Rheinaua Park, but also much of the home plate area, it's almost the shadows reaching home, pitching mound.
Yeah, those shadows have creeped halfway across the infield.
And he pulls that one in. A third base coach has to step back, let that one go by him. And Maggi, 2 balls, 1 strike to the shortstop. And Emiliani throws to first. And Aldo gets back easily.
Spain has paid attention to each and every base runner here this afternoon. They're not interested in anybody getting a free pass.
Next pitch coming, 2-1. And Aldo runs. The pitch was fouled back, making the count 2-2, and Aldo returns to first base. Doing a little bit of hit and run there.
Interesting strategy, up by 4. Why not, I guess, huh?
2-2 the count to the Italian shortstop.
Spain may have been anticipating something, thus trying to keep Aldo tight over to first.
Two and two count to Maggi. Miliani's ready. Throw. And that one drifts foul.
Way ahead of that one, puts it out of play down the third base line. Big right-handed Italian reliever.
Spanish.
Sorry, my apologies. Spanish reliever.
That's why it's always good to have two people commentating. You know, one can correct the other. And Emiliani goes to first base yet again.
Stepped off the mound before that throw over. I think he was thinking about it.
Yeah. And he's grooming the pitcher's mound. Toes the rubber. Emiliani ready to pitch. And throws yet again to first base. Another pickoff attempt. Well, Emiliani, Andy, waiting for the sign to pitch, and he gets that sign, and he throws it low in the dirt almost. Called for ball 3. Full count now. That'll give Aldo a chance to run him on contact. Has to be careful that it's not. Yeah, there's one out. Yeah. But still. Going to run. And he runs.
There he goes.
He goes running, and a high pop-up, but out of play.
Once again, they had the hit and run on.
Yeah. I can see that, 3-2. When you have a 4-run lead, you can do these things.
My partner here in the booth called that one. I think he's stealing signs from the third base coach in front of us.
Count remains 3-2. Full count, payoff pitch yet again. Aldo with a healthy lead at first base. And another pickoff attempt. That must be about the 5th one.
I think so. They are real intent on not giving Italy any free bases here.
And he runs again, and there's yet another high fly ball. Pop, foul territory. Valerio catches it in foul territory for the 2nd out. Aldo retreats to first base, 2nd out of the inning. Foul pop fly to the 3rd baseman, Valerio. That brings up Valio, who is 1 for 4. He's got a single, struck out, hit into a double play, and did reach base on an error. 2 outs. And another pickoff attempt by Miliani.
Baglio did reach base on that bunt last inning that Baez had trouble fielding cleanly.
And Aldo runs, throw to 2nd, and they punch him out. Good throw there by Ochoa. And that ends the top of the 8th inning. Italy doesn't put any runs on the board. Score remains 7-3. You're watching the European Baseball Championships on Baseball Softball TV. We're entering the bottom of the 8th inning. Italy leading 7-3 versus Team Spain. And Michael Johnson stays on the mound for Team Italy. Brought in last inning in relief of the starting pitcher Luis Lugo. Leading off against Johnson is the 2nd baseman Oscar Angulo. 1-1 count now to the Spanish Spanish 2nd baseman.
During the break, we got to hear the Spanish manager trying to fire up the bench here below us.
And fouls that one off. At the end of the bat. Well, how's Angulo done today?
He is 1 for 3.
1 for 3. Fouls back another ball.
Flew out in the 1st. He got a single in the 4th. And reached base by that error on the Italian 3rd baseman. Back in the 6th, and they played it a couple. My apologies.
No big deal.
Flew out.
Flew out. Yeah.
Flew out his last time.
There was it was the next batter.
Oosterhuis is the one that hit that ball down to the third baseman who threw it away.
Count goes to 2-2. Pitch comes. Yet another foul ball. That one sails over the first base grandstands. Well, people on the first base side are in the shade. There's a handful of people in the left field grandstands. There's enjoying a good sun bath. And Johnson's 2-2 pitch is high, making it a full count.
A few more fans are streaming in here, getting ready for the next game.
Germany, Netherlands. He sends that one. Line drive caught by the first baseman, Colabello. Nice play by the big first baseman for the first out in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Take a look at that replay. Really hot shot, but Colabello bent over, caught the ball before it hit the ground for the first out. Johnson ready for the second hitter. That's going to be Jesus Ustaris. That's the first baseman. That pitch is low for ball one. Johnson looks in, pitches, and that one is strike one. It paints the outside corner of the plate. A 1-1 count. Nice pitch there. Strike two, 1-2. Some slider qualities to that. Puts Ustalis in the hole. And he hits a ground ball to the third baseman, Mazzanti, who this time could throw him out.
Good play by Colabello over there. The throw drew him off the bag. He managed to snag it and turn around and tag the runner.
Oh, Ustalis retreats to the dugout. The second out of the inning. A quiet first two outs, you could say.
Very much so.
As Johnson casually works his way through this part of the lineup. Next batter for Spain is Lester Galvan, who scored last inning. No, he wasn't. He didn't score. Ustalis scored, but he got the double last inning. That's right.
1 for 3 this afternoon. Struck out in his first at bat. Hit into a double play and then doubled at his last appearance.
And he takes strike two. Johnson pitching confidently, pitching well. 0-2 count now. 2 outs in a quiet bottom half of the 8th so far. And there's a ground ball also to Mazzanti one more time, and will he get the throw on target? Then he does to end the 8th inning. 8 innings in the books between Italy and Spain. Italy ahead 7-3 at the European Baseball Championships on Baseball Softball TV.
right, we're heading into the 9th inning. Italy enjoying a comfortable 7-3 lead here over Team Spain.
Got me moving is the music here, huh? Miliani still on the mound for Team Spain. He's facing, in this final inning potentially, the heart of the order for Team Italy. That'll be Valio, Andreoli, and Colabello scheduled to hit. First up to bat is Valio, and he hits a line drive, and that one goes over the head of the left fielder Gavan, for another double. Been quite a few doubles in this game. First pitch from Miliani, and Valio drives that over the left fielder's head, and watch that on the replay.
Good swing. He jumped all over that pitch.
No chance for Gavan. Valio with a leadoff double. So Italy not satisfied with the 4-run lead. Trying to pad it a little bit more and send a signal also, you could possibly think, to the rest of the tournament. We're good, and they are. Headed to a perfect record 4-0 at the moment. The bats are humming. Pitching staff looks good. Luis Lugo had a really good start. Solid 6 2/3 innings.
Sure did. Looked very comfortable out there. He was in a rhythm. Very, very methodical in his own rhythm. Showed no emotion. Very even keel. Pitched a heck of a game.
Runner on second for Italy. The center fielder, John Andreoli, up, and he hits a ball that is single to left fielder Gavan. And they hold, third base coach holds up the runner, Valio, at third base. Andreoli with a single.
And just like that, Team Italy's got runners on the corner with nobody out on the top of the 9th. And look who comes up.
Mr. Colabello. He hit a home run in the first inning to start the scoring. 2-run homer. Behind him, Mazzanti with a 3-run homer to his credit. And that foul ball is exactly that. Valio gathers it, but in foul territory. Andreoli retreats to first.
Colabello scored 2 runs here this afternoon, looking to do some more damage. Like you say, John, send a message to the rest of the pool that Team Italy is to be reckoned with.
Yeah. And he checks his swing. No appeals made. No strike. Count goes 1-1. Runners on the corners for Team Italy. Nobody out in the top half of the 9th. With a comfortable margin, 7-3. Looking to pad it just a tad bit more, or maybe a lot more. Colatello back in the batter's box. Pitch from Miliani. And strike 2.
Big cut from Colabello. He was way out in front of that one.
Way out in front. Low pitch. Good pitch there by the Spanish reliever. One and 2 the count. Nobody out. And his fastball's outside for ball 2. 2-2. Italians have shown that a lot of patience at the plate also in this game. Now, Your pitchers have to be, opposing pitchers against Italy have to really be on target, have to be playing well or pitching well. And if they aren't, they're going to run into problems because, and there goes Andreoli on a hit and run, and that gets under Bethencourt. Now it's a 1-run home. Andreoli, the ball's bobbled, and he scores all the way from first base on a single by Colabello. The center fielder and the right fielder couldn't get the ball in cleanly, couldn't collect it cleanly, and that hit and run pays dividends. 2 more runs for Italy. As Beltre just stumbled as he collected the ball, and that gave Andreoli the green light from his third base coach to score also. So we've got 3 hits in a row, 2 runs across the plate. On Colabello's 2-run single, that gives him 4 RBIs today, and it brings up Mazzanti, the third baseman. Or do they have, no, they have a no plate, and they've got a substitute there. Pinch hitter, that's Eric Epifano. Get some playing time, maybe he's a little better in the field than Mazzanti, not quite sure. But Mazzanti given a rest. Mazzanti, by the way, had a big 3-run homer in the bottom of the 7th. Now a chance for Eric Epifano to show off his skills at the plate. Right-handed hitter, Jason Miliani.
Good time to give some of these other kids a chance with a 6-run lead now in the 9th inning.
And that one's inside for ball 1. No, strike 1 called. Sorry. 1-1 count. Excuse me. A 1-1 count now to Epifano. Pitch comes. That one's high. Breaking ball didn't break. Makes the count 2-1 to Epifano. Pitch comes right at the belt for strike 2. Miliani trying to minimize the damage that's already been done now. And it seems like the Spanish manager has no intent to take him out. And that foul ball down to third baseline. Miliani just going to have to maybe take his knocks here. Seems to be the decision by the Spanish manager, Luis Sojo.
I think he's just trying to get through the 9th inning and see what the bats can do on the bottom.
And the bloop single behind first base in front of the right fielder, Franco, Andreoli, or Colabello, excuse me, moves to second base, and maybe Italy, even in situations like that, taking the foot off the gas some, would have been possible. Aggressive base running to just go, and that looked like it was going to be a hit, but Colabello puts the brakes on at second base, and still nobody out. 9-3 score now. It's 4 hits in a row for Italy. Stepping in to the batter's box is Reginato. Reginato, one of the few Italians with any success today. He's hitless in 4 at-bats. Takes ball 2.
Now that you've said that, John, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, he might get a home run, huh? Or did I jinx him?
He looked at strike 1 there after taking the first 2 as balls.
Emiliani gets the sign. And Foul ball down the third base line again. Reginato now with a 2-2 count.
See, those shadows now have extended beyond the pitcher's mound.
Yeah.
Getting a little late in the afternoon here. It's still very pleasant out. Fans continue to stream in.
In approximately 1 hour, the next game is scheduled to begin. Final one of the day. And Reginato goes down swinging for the first out of the inning. Now the catcher coming and stepping to the plate. Reginato. Mineo, sorry.
Looks like we've got another
pinch hitter. Bringing in a new hitter. I'm not sure about that, Bob. He's a left-handed hitter. That looks like a 36 to me. Should be Mineo. You entered the number, Peyton, number 36.
Getting late in the day for me too, John.
Yeah, it's a 2-0 count to Mineo, who's still in the game, despite rumors of his demise. And that one is ball 3. Miliani has fallen behind in the count. If I could look down to the Spanish bullpen, my guess would be there is no activity. 3-0 count. Runners at first and second. And Mineo drives one.
Well hit.
Not only does he drive that into the right center field gap, he has driven it over the fence for a 3-run home run. And now Italy sending some very clear signals to this tournament. We're the team to top here. Making the score on that home run from Alberto Mineo, 12-3. So 5 runs have crossed the plate this inning, capped by a home run at the moment by catcher Alberto Mineo. And the wind has been taken out of the sails, I believe. Spain dugout silenced.
Very quiet below us.
Almost stunned, you could say, as Mineo sends that one about as far as you can.
Well struck as a...
And there's another solid sounding hit, but it's foul ball by Celli. Celli, the center fielder. He himself today has been hit by a pitch. He's flown out, struck out twice. He'd like to add to the good vibes in the team. Takes ball 1-1 to count.
Kind of surprising score, John, after seeing both teams coming into this game at 3-0 in the tournament, and with their history of being very competitive in the top tier of European baseball, I would have never guessed that this would be a 9-run game in the 9th inning.
You look at the offense, and the stats for Italy simply have been scoring runs. And they haven't been giving up many runs either. So I don't know if I'm surprised. I can't say I would have expected it. But I don't know how surprised I am, simply because they've been probably the best team in the tournament so far. Israel is a pleasant surprise.
True enough.
With their 3 wins.
True enough.
I mean, I'm looking at the score sheets from the Italy-France game that was 16-2 on day 1. And that day, their left fielder, Sebastiano Poma, went 6 for 6.
That's impressive.
And Sebastiano Poma, I believe, the last 2 games, so he did not play today, and he did not play yesterday. So I haven't heard, but I don't know if they're saving him or if he's been hurt.
Interesting.
Because I think he has 1,000 batting average. And not only the 6 for 6, I think he's 8 for 8 or 9 for 9.
6 for 6 is a good 2 games for many hitters.
Well, just getting 6 hits is good for about 10 games. Well, not good for 10 games, but it's pretty good. And that ball's foul. If Poma is out of the lineup because of injury, that's unfortunate for Italy, but they've shown that's not going to keep them back. They've got plenty of depth on the bench. If he's not hurt, then I really think teams will have to worry. Because if you have a player that goes 9 for 9 in 2 games, I don't know what teams are going to do to stop that. And ball 4 to Celli, which also a fairly long at bat, base on balls. And now
here comes the Spanish manager.
Let's see who's that. I'm taking a look there. 30, 31. No. See if that's the manager or one of the coaches. That's the pitching coach, Lenny Duarte, and puts his hand on Miliani's shoulders, doing what he can to pep him up, say, hey, you're a good pitcher. I've never been a pitcher. I've never been a pitching coach, but don't think you need to be a big psychologist to know what he might be saying there, because there's no movement to take him out of the ball game.
This is an uncomfortable situation for a pitcher.
Yep. Can't get outs.
Sometimes I wonder in that situation if he's thinking, please take me out of here. Sees that pitching coach come out and he knows it's not the manager, so.
Yeah, it's just more comforting words, huh?
I think that conversation was simply, look, just throw strikes at this point.
Yeah.
Just throw strikes.
Oh, now at the plate is Aldo. Oh, it's a towering pop fly in the infield to the first baseman, Usturiz. And Aldo, also a player for Italy who has not got a hit this game. He was on base last inning. He was hit by a pitch, but that's towering fly ball there, or infield fly to the first baseman, is second out of the inning. And that brings us to Maggi. They batted around here with him, a 9th batter this inning. Takes a ball.
Maggi's 6th plate appearance in this game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. And yet another ball, 2-0. Fouls that one back. Makes the count 2-1. The 2 outs here. Top of the 9th. Italy with a commanding lead, 12-3. And he screams one down the third base line. Foul.
Good swing. He was just out in front of that one a bit, John.
Probably shouldn't talk too early. I mean, stranger things have happened, and the comebacks do happen, miracles do happen. But if you were to say, if right now, what's the takeaway from this game? What would you say, Bob? Any thoughts?
Italy looks pretty strong, top to bottom, fundamentally, and at the plate. Not many real weak spots in there when you've got a team that can put up 12 against Spain. They've had their first 3 games, they scored 28 runs. So, now with...
And there goes the runner on the full count pitch, and another walk. Well, I shouldn't say another. It's the first. No, this is the second walk this inning. 2 of the last 3 batters have reached on base on balls. And now the second baseman, Alessandro Vaglio, gets his second plate appearance in this inning.
And that runner was going simply because it was a full count with 2 outs.
Yeah.
So
Not
that
nothing
they
to fear.
were right. They weren't sending him for any reason. Nobody would do that here with a 9-1 lead.
And there's a shot through the between second or the shortstop and third base, and that scores yet another run. On the first pitch, Vaglio jumps all over it for a RBI single. On his second hit in this inning, alone. So RBI as Celli scores from second base.
Making it a 13-3 game. Yeah. You know, I mentioned 28 runs in their first 3 games, 13 here now, gives them 41, averaging double digits in the tournament, and that includes a 2-1 victory over Croatia. So this is a team that can put them up in big numbers.
And Croatia hasn't won a game. They took a licking today against Austria. The first time they really weren't competitive, but they pushed Italy to the limit. They also pushed Spain to the limit in the first game, the very opening game of the tournament. But they're walking away after 4 games empty-handed. Italy, despite that, you could say a scare, have simply decided that they're going to put their mental capabilities and their bats, ramp it up a lot. And a wild pitch there advances the runners to second and third.
Well, I think Croatia, even though going home 0-4, can feel good about being competitive here, and I think that's progress for that program.
Yeah. Austrians are probably happy to get a victory. It's not obviously the population of Austria does not make it conducive to get a large pool of players. And that ground ball is gobbled up by Valerio, whose throw is scooped out of the dirt by Ustalis to end the 9th inning, but not before 6 runs cross the plate for Italy. And there are 3 outs to go. Spain had to start doing their work. We'll be back soon on the Baseball Softball TV network.
Go into the bottom of the 9th. Team Italy bringing out a right-hander. To try to close things out here, it's number 40, Alex Bassani.
And he'll be facing number 10 for Team Spain. That's also a new player brought in, utility man Javier Monzon. Spain also recognizing, okay, let's give some other players a chance. Let's see, let them get one plate appearance in, at least in this game, and who knows, maybe they'll be playing in the future games. And Monzon fouls that one back, and making it count 1 and 2.
It's not only the sporting thing to do, but these bench players, they put in as much time as the starters, and it's nice to give them an opportunity to get in the field in a real game situation at some point.
Absolutely. I think you just recognize, okay, this game, we're not going to come back probably. And he takes strike 3 there at the knees.
Good pitch from Bassani.
Yeah. Infielders go around the horn. Ball is returned to Bassani. The next batter coming up is Daniel Martinez, yet another pinch hitter. So the manager Soho pulling all the stops here, getting three new players in at least, and hoping for more at bats besides these 3 if the next hitter is a pinch hitter. Left-hander Martinez takes strike 1. Bassani trying to make short shrift here at the bottom of the 9th. That one's up and in to the left-handed hitter, making it count 1 and 1. You got 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Italy with a comfortable 10-run margin. Fouls that one off. Monzon now in the hole, 1 and 2. One and 2 count. To pitch to Monzon. And that's also called strike. 2 called strikeouts in this game for Bassani, and he's 1 out away now from completing the 4th game in this group for these 2 teams.
He's looking good out there.
He is.
Same marching orders he had was just get out there and throw strikes.
Yep.
Nothing fancy.
Come on, play!
0-2 count now. 1 strike away from completing this game. Bassani looking to throw a 1-2-3 inning for Team Italy.
I sense a fastball, John.
You would, do you? And you get one, but that one's fouled back. And failed to mention who was at bat here because there is a new batter and yet another pinch hitter. This is Omar Hernandez, catcher by trade, getting some pinch hitting duties.
Good for him. Cuban born, spent some time in the Kansas City Royal organization.
Okay. And fouls that one back behind the plate.
Just this year, Omar is 17 years old.
A youngster.
Very much so.
So he's probably also playing in the U under-23 competitions, maybe even under-19 competitions still. 17-year-old playing in the seniors.
So, a kid with some ability and a bright future. He's hit 290 so far in the Arizona Rookie League for Kansas City.
Okay. Bassani looking to close this game down. 1-2 pitch comes, and that curveball is inside for ball 2. 2-2 count now as Hernandez extends this at-bat. And he swings and he misses. Bassani strikes out the side in the bottom of the ninth to end this game. 13-3 for Italy. Bob, it was a pleasure.
Pleasure is all mine. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share the booth with you.
I was happy
for the last
to have you here.
2 days. It's been a highlight of our trip here to Germany, and I look forward to doing it again sometime in the future.
Hope to see you again, and all the best to your son as he continues his play here for the Bonn Capitals.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Bob.
Thank you.
3 victories, 1 loss. Big hand to both teams, Italy and Spain. Thank you very much, guys, for tonight's baseball game. Applaus.
With the Team Italy manager, Givo. Wonderful, strong performance by your team. You've done everything so far right in the tournament. Obviously, you want to win, but what about tomorrow? What are you doing looking as ahead? You're certainly in the next round.
Yeah, tomorrow we play Belgium. The game doesn't mean much for us because we are already in first place, but we want to keep on winning, and some guys, they need to get some more at-bats, and we need the pitching to do good as they did today. So we got to keep playing the way we should.
Now, I was looking at the stats from the first couple of games, and the left fielder, Poma, has not played the last 2 games. Is that any reason? Is he injured?
Yes, he injured. He injured his back, sliding into second base, and he took an MRI, and there's nothing, no fracture, but he needed to rest. Maybe we can have him back for the quarterfinal.
Okay. Nevertheless, the offense is really in high gear. Is there anything that you would say is, you said tomorrow you could probably test some of the players. What do you want to tweak? What screws do you want to turn to get ready for the next round?
We swung the bat well today, but we didn't do as good against Croatia, and we were so-and-so against Austria. We want to keep on swing the bat like we did today. We need to, get quality bats, have the right mentality, and keep on playing the way, as I said, we practice for.
If I say so myself, I've seen a number of games. I think you've become tournament favorite to what you've done in 4 games. You're scoring more than 10 runs per game. It's almost too easy. That's, I think, can be a scary thing at times. Although the 2-1 game of Croatia was close.
Yeah. No, I saw all the other teams, and the Netherlands has a really good team. Israel is doing great. So I think the other bracket, there was more competition in the other bracket. So you can say who's favorite. I think us, the Dutch team, Germany, we are all the same level. Spain too. Today they had a bad game, but I know they can do a lot. They can be a lot better.
Thanks a lot for the short interview. Good luck in the rest of the tournament.